All right, this is Dre. What? This is Dre from Lotus Effect. We're calling.
Don't tell me this shit's happening again.
I don't know.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, Dre.
Hey, how's everything? How's everything?
Hey, man, this is Redler from Hellcast Radio. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm hanging. I'm feeling good, man.
You're feeling good, okay. You know, that's a little different than the text we exchanged earlier where you said you had a crazy fucking night.
Oh, no, man, yeah, last night was insane. And I was able to get 4 hours of sleep. You know, we got in at 4 a.m. We had our CD release party last night.
Okay.
And the thing about the show last night was it was in conjunction with Ultimate Midget Wrestling.
Ultimate Midget Wrestling.
Ultimate Midget Wrestling. So we had, a couple of bands throw down, then the guys, and I mean, these guys might be little, but like they're some of the most finely toned athletes I've ever seen. These guys would drop their shirts off, and I'm like, man, I knew they were, getting some chicks that night.
That's awesome.
Picking dudes up, flipping over. I was like, it was insanity. And then it would go to the music, and then back to the fights, and yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. I'm still trying to get over what I saw last night. How y'all been though? How y'all feeling?
Oh man, I am fucking feeling fantastic right now. I'm drinking this show's unofficial sponsor, the Cold Crisp Coors Light, the silver fucking bullet.
That's what I was sipping on yesterday, even though they don't sponsor me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, they don't sponsor me either. They're unofficial, but it's my beer of choice.
Right. They're our unofficial sponsor as well, man.
Excellent.
I was
See,
sucking that down.
There you go. Gotta love that shit. All right, so I guess
let me give you a quick cheers, man. While I just throw down a quick chug right now.
Hell yeah!
Cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
All right, as you were saying.
All right. Now I gotta ask you, brother. Do you prefer cans or bottles?
Man. I got, honestly, for flavor, I got to go with bottles. But man, there's nothing better than getting a chick. And ladies, y'all can, tell me if I'm on to something here. When a chick sees you with that can in your hand, she knows you're approachable. I get more ladies with cans, but I drink the bottles for flavor, if that makes any sense.
I hear you.
I guess I can agree because when I watch my fiance drinking a beer out of a can, it's sexy, but he's a country boy, you know what I mean? So he's used to, he's used to it.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm from the South too, so I think it might be a Southern thing, you know what I mean? Like that ruggedness, that you got that can, and then you just finish that drink and you crush it, and there's just something. I don't know, man. There's something about that.
I guess I kind of look at it slightly different. I just look at the cans. I can fit more in my fridge, but don't get me wrong. Okay. When it comes to pure taste, I like sipping out of the bottle as I am right now. I have 16 of the tall boys. Excuse me. Nice. And then I have another half dozen or so cans sitting in the fridge now.
Nice. Well, let me ask you a question. This might be pretentious of me, but you go from can and you get that bottle for flavor, but then I find that if you drink the same beer out of a can than a bottle, it's going to taste better in that bottle. But then if you pour it in a Pilsner glass, drinking it out of that glass, it tastes like you should have paid like $5 extra for it. Am I just being pretentious there? Drinking it out of the glass?
Oh no, definitely no. I'm telling you, the glass it enhances the entire experience. It's like you're at a bar, even if you have a Pilsner glass at home.
I have a friend of mine. She will not drink a beer unless she has a cup to drink it out of. She won't.
Right. It can't be just any cup, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you pour it in, like, a styrofoam cup or one of those plastic Pixie, you know what I mean, that you play beer pong with?
Glass.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right, I thought it was crazy,
it's something about the glass keeping it nice and cold longer. That might be what it is.
It's like a Harry Potter magic wand. You know what I mean? It's just that beer. I have no idea how it works. I tell people that sometimes and they look at me like I'm crazy, but thank you, man. I don't feel so alone that y'all agree with me on that.
Well, I
definitely.
don't drink, so I mean that's all. I'm just going by what people say.
Yeah, she dropped a lot of vagina back when she was younger, so it hurt her now.
Oh, ha ha ha! You're so funny.
So Dre, let me ask you. All right, your band, Lotus Effect.
Yeah.
How
Yes, sir.
how did you come up with the name Lotus Effect?
Honestly, man, when we were getting together, we were formed actually by this super progressive drummer Gabe Blog back in the day. We've been around for a bit out here in Houston, and a super progressive guy, and he had a lot of influences. So that name just stuck with him. And at first, we were like Lotus Effect. Some guys wanted to be named like, Eternal Enema. They wanted something hard, that came down hard. But after a while,
that's fucking awesome.
yeah, but after a while sitting with Lotus Effect, man, like, it means different things to different members in the group. But, like for me, when I look at the effect music has had on me throughout my life, like the lowest of the lows, it was there. The highest of the highs, it marked those occasions. I can think of, certain time frames in my life that's marked by, certain songs. And then just when I think about other people and the effect that music has on people across the board, no matter the language they speak, the culture, and I can't explain it. I don't know why music is so powerful and has that effect. So to me, Lotus Effect kind of encompasses that. Another interesting fact, though, is when you look at Lotus Effect is like this scientific hoopla. The lotus flower has this repellent ability where it can't get wet. Water will just drop out of it. And you can find lotus flowers in some of the grimiest, dirtiest places. But yet, since, stuff just rolls off of them, they're still pristine. And so this might sound a little, cocksure to say, but, we're trying to push and find our own spot within a sea of other shit going on where we can, say, hey, we're really trying to push this. We're trying to, raise up from the filth as far as, bringing music somewhere to another level. Whether we achieve that or not, I don't know, but at least that's the goal, So yeah, that's what Lotus Effect means to me, anyway.
Okay. Now, when you said you said that you've been around for a bit. Now, can you narrow that down a little bit longer?
Yeah, I mean, the band as it is, and it has been around since '08. But they had member changes from since '06, 2006, and I came in around '08. We released our first EP, Rabbits and Royalty, in 2000. Hold on, excuse me, guys. I'm sorry about this.
No problem.
Yeah.
Oh!
Sorry about that, man. The chorus is kicking in, man. Woo!
No. Never apologize for burping on the show. Never. It's to be
He does it all
applauded.
the time.
Oh man, yeah, that was. I'm about to have to pull me another one. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
guys, we released our first EP in 2010, so that was about 4 years ago, and then we spent 4 years working on an album totality that we just released in October. So we've been around for a bit, I guess you could say.
Excellent. Now, how many are there in the group?
It's 4 guys so far. You got myself. My name's Dre. My full name's Dremasio, man. Don't Google me, man, because you'll find like all my arrest records and shit like that.
Everybody's
you got
got
Rick
one.
Marquez. He plays guitar. You got Vincent on bass, and that dude, just wows out, man. And we had Richie Cotwell. He played drums on the album for us, but we're transitioning to a new drummer now, and that's how it is, man. Always in flux.
Okay.
Did I answer the question, man?
No.
Did I answer that question?
You answered the question, but you left it. You left me wondering. Okay, you said transitioning. Okay, did you like kick the other fucker out? Say you guys, dude, you suck, and we just want to bring someone else in, or how?
No.
How is that
man,
transit? How did that go?
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing that's kind of funny is like our drummers always have defined us You know, you look at when we first started with Gabe back in, you know, he was actually the founding member of the band. This guy had a 20-piece drum kit. It took him like 45 minutes to set up the shows. It was kind of overkill and ridiculous, but he was so technically proficient, you know, he insane, and we kind of built our sound around that. This dude went on, you know, he decided to leave music to do medical school. He's one of those nurses that jump in those medevac helicopters, you know, and fly to scenes of emergencies now, you know what I mean? So he decided to, you know, to part with music. So then we found Richie, and this cat, you know, because we're a progressive band, so I like to think that, you know, we're very accessible, progressive. We play very accessible progressive music where a lot of bands I know, progressive bands, they put that progressiveness in your face. They're like, oh, we're doing a 7/8 right now, you know what I mean? Oh, we're doing this switch, you know, we're doing a 7-minute song, and they want you to know they're doing it. We hope that we're more subtle about it, you know? So we throw that in, and Richie, man, this dude had no problem. If we went from a straight 4/4 to a 5 in there, he had no problem, you know, thinking outside the box. Yeah, he was awesome, man. And like you can hear it on the album, his playing on the album is incredible. But what ended up happening is life. You know, I don't want to put his business out there, but he just had a lot of stuff to deal with, and life took over the music, so to say.
Oh,
so,
no.
Know, we parted ways, you know.
I totally understand that because life happens to my co-hosts. You know, okay, I've done 200. This is my 274th show, and I've had 38. I've had 38 different co-hosts because life happens, and you know, for whatever reason, they're not able to be here. So that's why during my intro, I say sitting in the deadliest co-host chair on internet radio because I can never keep somebody. So I totally understand how life can get in the way.
Can I just want to pay you a compliment if you don't mind. You know?
By all means, sir.
Yeah, I know you're a humble guy, but I was just thinking about that. I'm like, here's a guy who puts on a show on Saturday night. Saturday night. That's when people are wanting to get out to the titty bar, excuse my language, wanting to hit the club. They're like, I live for the weekend. Saturday night is what, and yet you're putting on a show, man. You're entertaining. You know, you're bringing in bands. You're exposing people. I have so much respect for that. You know what I mean? So much respect. So I just want to say, hey, man, thank you for what you're doing. You know.
And for your lovely words, it makes my ego expand that much more, and I love to hear that.
That's what I was hoping.
I love to hear shit like that. I really do.
See, basically what he does is for us losers who have nothing else to do, he gives us something that we can look forward to. That, you know, we come in here, we can relax and laugh and have a good time, and not be worried about what's going on the outside world, and just put our problems behind us for a little bit. You know, it's awesome.
Can I ask? This is kind of important to me. Am I an official member of the Hellcast Radio family, or what's going on with that? Did my application go through?
Wait. Let me check the members page here. Actually, all you got to do is click the join button in the chat room if you haven't. I think you did, but I'm not sure. But if you did, then by all means, sir, you are a part of the Hellcast family, and I love that.
Hell yeah. Cheers to that, man. I appreciate it.
Welcome to the family.
And I do take great pride in it because, especially around the rest of this website, I get frowned upon because I don't play music all the time. I play 8 songs during the 8 hours that I'm on air. So that's like 1 an hour. Which is not a good average for a DJ. But that's why I hate the word. When I go to other lounges, when I didn't have my own lounge, I would go to other chat rooms, and they'd be like, "Oh, you want a DJ for us?" And I'm like, "No, I hate that term. I am an entertainer." And
right.
I excel at irritating people and getting under their skin, but at the same time, I play so many games and do so much stupid shit that you gotta stick around because you don't know what I'm gonna do next. You don't know what I'm gonna say next. It's like if you were tuned in the beginning of the show, okay, the band we're gonna interview in a couple of weeks, one of their band members added me on Skype, and when he did, he decided to call in just as I was going live. And I'm like, hey, dude. I was like, hey, dude, how's it going? He's like, oh, pretty good. And I'm like, hold up. First of all, you sound like you're 12. He's like, no, actually, I'll be 15 at the end of the month.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. And then he starts telling us about a story of him and his high school and this chick going to the McDonald's. And I'm like, can I mention? I don't want to offend you, not really, but have your balls dropped? And and he's like, you know what? I get asked that so much, I don't even know anymore.
It was fucking epic.
That's how I started tonight's show.
Oh man. Yeah.
But honestly, this whole thing started as just a podcast for me to vent my frustrations in my world. And then and then my boss at work heard it, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Let me sit in with you." And then it became what it is now, Hellcast. And I took my last name and podcast, and I crammed them together. And I'm like, all right, we'll do that. And then we decided to add some different things to it, and then all of a sudden, an online internet radio station asked me to come do my show on there. It was called Talk Radio X.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay.
They gave me my first shot at a live show with a chat room, and it just exploded from there. I got people asking me, I ended up doing a trivia game, and that's where the whole idea of, because when the whole musical aspect of my show first started out as a local music scene. I would go around a 20-mile area around where I live, and I would hit up bands that were trying to get off the ground. And I'm like, hey, man, I go, give me a CD, something I can play, so I can play it on this website, and it could be listened to all over the world. And it went from one band to 3 bands. And now I do it. It's kind of like a battle of the bands. And when I get lucky, I can actually interview a band at the same time. And and then people started saying, "Oh, hey Red, why don't we play some games?" So I've come up with so many crazy games. I've copied Family Feud. I've copied Millionaire in a way. I've copied Wheel of Fortune, and then I've come up with all kinds of crazy games, like the cam scavengers at the beginning. I get people on the webcam, and they got to bring me a scavenger list in their house. And yeah, it's crazy. Nothing's funnier to see 10, 12 people jump up from the camera at the same time to go chase down a whisk from their kitchen. It's good times.
And then you got the ones that are lagging a little behind the rest, and you're like, up.
Yeah, and because of the fact that we're on the internet, everybody experiences a different amount of lag, so they all hear it at different times. So it's good stuff, and but I've always loved, because obviously the big radio stations around town or whatever, they all play the big bands. That's why they call it Top 40, because everybody wants to hear those. Well, I always have been interested in finding the bands that people don't know about that are good.
Gems, yeah.
Exactly.
I want to go back to what you were saying, when you're saying you went out into the local scene and just to find bands. Man, I think that's amazing to me, because I know here, in Houston, being in Houston, I don't do it so much anymore just because, I just get caught up in the cash flow is a little short, but I would go see about 3, at least 1 to 3 shows a week. Mm-hmm. And this is just local bands. It could have been touring bands that were coming through town that, are just underground or nobody's ever heard of. And the thing that I loved about it, man, you go out sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. You know, you can check out a band online and their music might be good. Man, I would hear a band that I was like, I don't really dig their music, but something about it, I'm going to check them out anyway. You know, maybe I just. Yeah, for sure.
My fiance is from Texas.
Okay.
And he used to work on Fort Hood, and he's always going on about these different bands that they have going on at Fort Hood. Have you ever personally gone there to check out the bands that they have playing there?
I haven't been over to Fort Hood. No. Does he say good things about him, or is he just
yeah, he says because they have this one event every year. I don't remember what he called it, but he said they have like 5 or 6 different stages set up around Fort Hood, and they have a band, a band going on each stage. And I mean, he said they've had some really awesome shows there.
Right on. Yeah, Texas is big though. Texas is big, but yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But no, the only reason I bring that up is just like support local music. It's just you'll be amazed at the experiences that you'll find, and that's why I appreciate you going out and just helping local bands, man. Because like you said, big radio, man, they're focused on what they're doing, but you can find so many amazing gems when you just hunt. It's like a treasure hunt. And that's what I love about just going into the local scene and digging into it, So support local music. Support local music.
Exactly, because, you never know when you're going to find that diamond in the rough. And I think I find one all the time. I really do. Especially at the beginning, I thought I found spectacular people that were definitely going to make something. And only a couple of them that I've tried to get in contact with since have actually done fairly well.
Yeah, that's always amazing to me too. Like, I found bands that I was like, my God, how are y'all not, on a different level than where y'all at? And then I'll check in with them like in 6 months or a year, and they're broken up, or you know what I mean, or they just and I'm like, how did that happen, man? These were that's just the most talented group I've ever seen. You know what I mean? But yeah, it does happen.
I was discussing with Red last night, trying to give him ideas for different bands that he could go look at, and we have a local station here that also has 2 HD stations that's strictly for online, and every week they have what's called Noise in the Basement, where they'll go to different places where they have nothing but local bands playing, and they'll choose a band out of the ones playing, and they'll do an interview, and they'll broadcast it on all 3 of their stations.
Nice.
And their stations are listened to worldwide. Right. So, it only takes the right person listening to one of those stations to like what they hear, and boom, you've got, you know what I mean? You've got a band that's been discovered.
Absolutely. So give me 3 locals, man, that I need to check out. What's going on?
Here, where I'm from, shoot, I don't know who they've been doing lately.
Oh, he put you on the spot and you failed.
I don't listen to the radio that much.
I'm making the choking signal right now.
You know what? I used to have a crickets. I used to have a cricket sound effect, but I don't know what the hell happened to it. But
I can tell you the name of the station.
Wait a minute. Here you go.
Yeah.
I got something I can play for her. All right, Devious, this is for you not knowing any local talent.
Wrong answer, dumbass.
I deserve that one.
There you go. But hey, you know what? Here's one you could check out. It's called Attacked by Wolves.
Attacked by Wolves.
Yes, they are local to me. They're like 4.5 miles from me.
Right on.
Their lead singer.
If you want to hear any of the local ones from Maryland, where I'm from, the station that I was talking about, it's their online website is 98online.com, and it's a local rock station.
All right, I'm writing this down. I'm definitely going to dig into it.
Excellent. Hey, and Devious, don't worry. I'll actually text him tomorrow and see if he remembers any of this. because I actually have his number. But okay, Dre.
I'm a couple of beers in, so that would be nice to get a text from you, man, and remind me. You know.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, they do a killer morning show. I mean, it would put Red. It would be good competition for him because they are fucking hilarious, and they do the same thing that he does, except they don't do the games. Are you promoting his competitors on his own show? They're only during the week. Incredible. He does it on Saturdays.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Gotcha. Okay.
It would give everybody here something to listen to during the week.
I guess. Yeah,
and they're in the morning. He's at night. So.
Right on. Right. No, I'm just messing with you.
But let's see. What was I going to say now? I've been so derailed from, and this is what happens with my interviews. Is I'll have a couple of set things I want to talk about, and then we get sidetracked. But that's the beauty of it is I don't wrangle you back in. Say, all right, hey, we're getting off topic. Come on, we've spent 30 minutes diving off into different topics. I'm cool with it. That's what makes my interviews better. That's what makes them more unique, because of the fact that it's not the same 16 questions that you get from local media or the big guys. I ask other shit.
And man, I feel so at ease. You know what I mean? I got my beer. I'm hanging with you guys. I hope y'all don't mind that I'm in my underwear. You know what I mean? Because I just feel so comfortable. So I just want to let it breathe out a little bit. And yeah, man, I need 30 minutes went by like that, man.
Awesome.
Callie's sitting there at her house. She's wearing a beanie and her brother's Army National Guard uniform because it is our Halloween event tonight. And when she heard,
hot though, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. But when she heard you say that you were sitting in your underwear, she stood up and said this. So yeah, she was all about that.
All right, man.
So it's good stuff. So Callie's hot for you, just to let you know.
All right, I appreciate that. Oh, bro, big hug, man. Thank you for that. Sweetness.
But
Sweetness.
All right, so are you guys currently signed to a label?
No. I mean, we do everything ourselves. From booking, promotion, marketing, all of that. We actually one of the lead singles on our album called Totality. We did a music video for it, and man, we put it up on YouTube, and it hit like 3,000 views in a couple of weeks. So I just want to thank all our friends who checked it out, told people about it. But the thing about that video, Houston Press called it arguably the most visually ambitious music video from Houston, local Houston band. We spent 7 months editing that video. We shot it ourselves. We came up with the concept ourselves, and it took me about 7 to 8 months to edit it because, when we were thinking, hey, what concepts we want to do, we were like, hey, you know what? If we green screen it, our imagination can be the limit. So we were like, all right, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, not really knowing how we were going to pull it off. So once we shot it, we did a lot of green screen, we shot it behind a green screen, and then we had to figure out how to make it look where, it wasn't cheesy. It took a long time, and I don't know if I would do that again, but it came out fantastic. And if y'all want to ever jump on YouTube, Totality, Lotus Effect, definitely let us know what you think.
Oh, definitely.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I don't think I have.
I'm gonna send you a link, man.
Yes, by all means.
We'll talk.
But what was I going to say? As you're sitting there explaining the whole process with your video there, I'm just sitting here smiling because all I kept thinking about is when I first started in this whole business of the podcast, going into a show, whatever. When I first started, it honestly took me 40 hours of prep to do a 38-minute to 45-minute podcast. And then afterwards, it took me 3 hours to edit it before I uploaded it to the internet. My girlfriend thought I was cheating on her because I was spending 3 hours on a Wednesday morning after I worked third shift at my boss's house doing the show and then uploading it to the internet. And I'm like, you just don't understand. I go, because every time we stuttered or said or, we didn't want to sound retarded. So I cut all that crap out. And, and then because, we had dial-up internet in the 90s, it took fucking forever. So, once we finally progressed that and I started doing the live shit, things have just taken such a different road. I mean, it still takes me a bit of time to do a show, but now instead of prepping for a 1-hour show, I'm prepping for close to an 8-hour show because I have that many games, I have that much to talk about, and we have that much fun. Like, I only schedule a half an hour for an interview. Sometimes I've had a couple go way less than that. But then
I apologize, man, because we're over
No. Don't even bother. Because a majority of my interviews, because of the fact that I get along so well with the person I'm talking with, that everything flows, and to me, that's awesome because the people in the chat room, they get to know either the singer or the group better, and you're more likable, which means you're more marketable, which means they're going to... I mean, Callie's sitting there, her panties are dripping wet. She's already heard some good songs tonight, and she's dying to hear yours.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And so, awesome. It's a great thing. So
you don't get me hot, man.
Well, hey, wait a minute. I'm a dude. I don't want to get you hot because that would send the wrong signal.
In the third person, indirectly through, you're right.
I haven't had nearly enough Coors Light to swing that direction yet.
Oh, wow.
That's not what I was trying to say.
I know. I'm just fucking with you, brother.
There goes Callie. She's blushing. She's turning bright red.
Yeah.
But see, it's good. I mean, you look at the people on cam. There's me and at least one other one other person drinking, and you're drinking with me, and we're just sitting here chatting about music and life and good times.
Absolutely.
And it's all worth it in the end.
It took you about 5 hours to put out, your first 40-minute podcast. That's what you're telling me.
Actually, closer to 45 hours.
That's passion, man. A lot of people are like, I want to do a podcast. And then when they do that 45 hours to put out that 1 hour, they're like, screw this, man. Fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore.
Oh, man. I felt so empowered. I felt so empowered. I felt, okay, this is something I'm in control of. And then it became... It started out as, just something small and, and insane. And then a coworker I was working with had lost his daughter in a car accident and, quote unquote, found God. And after he found God, he would start preaching to me. And after 9/11 changed my whole view on religion entirely. And I became sort of atheist/agnostic. I either want to believe in nothing or I don't believe in any of it. And then he's like, you know what, the way you talk to me, Red, he's like, you sound like the Antichrist. And I started laughing. He's like, what's so funny? I was like, that is so funny. I go, I think I'm going to use that on my show. And that's what I use. I am the self-proclaimed Antichrist. Because I hate all the other religions, so I started my own. It's called Redlerism. Wait a minute, and I actually have a clip that I've been told to use, and damn it, I don't have it with or right here available. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? Here it is.
Redlerism?
Redlerism.
Gotcha. Does it have its own Wikipedia page? Because that's where it becomes legit.
I'm working on that.
On Wikipedia page? All right, get that.
I'm working, but here's the clip that I need to use.
I'm starting a new religion. It's called assholeism. It's $5 to join. Who's in?
Is that not spectacular?
I'm donating. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm donating for the cause. You know.
Hell yeah. And so I've exploded with my own persona. I don't care if I piss people off, and I've actually gotten quite a few comparisons, and I can only. It only expands my ego. I've been compared many times to Howard Stern. I'm the next Howard Stern, people tell me. And I love to hear shit like that because I try to be as creative as possible to try to entertain everybody. You know, if I happen to piss you off, you know what? And as I say at the very beginning of the show, very beginning,
this show and all of its contents are strictly for entertainment purposes only.
You have the right not to be an asshole. If you give up that right, everything you say and do in here will be held against you. If you cannot afford to stop being an asshole, then someone will be appointed to kick yours out of here.
And then I finish it up by saying, in layman's terms, that means if me or my co-host happen to say anything that piss you off during my show, get you a little raw around the anal edges, you know what? There's the door. Get the fuck out! There's no crying in internet radio.
Damn right.
Thank you. Amen.
Oh, you know what?
You're lucky you're the
I haven't ever had to do this before, but you know, because we're having such a great time, I'm going to give you your 2 strikes. And what that means is you violated rules of my show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I'm the Antichrist, I have rules.
Exactly.
And
Gotcha.
okay, I'll go through them real quick. Rule number 1, there is no OMG, it's OMR for Oh My Red.
OMR. I know that. Gotcha.
Rule number 2, there's no God, it's Jeebus.
Right on.
And rule number 3, there is no Amen.
Stop. It's I read.
Hell yeah!
I messed it up.
Call that
Sorry. Oh, man. If I could,
shit. Call that shit. That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah!
All right. I apologize about that. You know.
Oh, no, that's okay. Rule number 4.
I've been
I take
listening
those
to
2
this
strikes.
show for 3 years, and I've already got, 2 strikes today.
Yeah, you got 2 strikes tonight. Rule number 4 is bash only the hosts of the show. Don't bash anybody in the chat room, otherwise that pisses me off, and then I gotta go ape shit on you. Rule number 5 is be interactive, which you have more than done already in the chat room. Rule number 6... Rule number 6 was specifically written for one person, but do not show your peen on cam unless you give a 3-second warning so the other guys that could be watching have a chance to turn away. And then finally, rule number 7.
No problem.
Finally, rule number 7, drink and have fun, which you're already doing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a pro at rule number 7, man.
So they're not complicated rules, but you'll be amazed on how often I can fuck people up with them.
Yeah. 2 strikes already, man. Damn. Okay.
Well,
Hey, you're right there with me, and I've been listening for 3 years.
But
yeah,
see,
that's great for you. It's been 30 minutes for me, and 2 strikes already. You know, all right, but I'm on it.
And see now, if you're in the chat room, which we actually are, if you were to get a 3rd strike, I would actually eject you from the lounge, which means you wouldn't be listening for. It's anywhere between 2 and 4 minutes, and then it allows you to get back in.
Yeah, that's painful though. You know what I mean?
But exactly because of the fact that if you're only listening through the chat room and you're kicked out for 3 to 4 minutes, who the fuck knows what I'm going to do or what I'm going to say or what game we're playing? Maybe it's a game that you've been waiting all night to play, which I have people that come in for specific games, and that's it.
I don't.
And so,
hey, thank you for that education, man.
Hey, not a problem. It's one of the stupid-ass things that I hold as a tradition, and it's so much fun because it fucks with people's head.
It does.
And, oh, man. I am so totally brain dead right now. You got anything to ask there, Devious?
No, I think you've covered everything. But
Oh,
I mean,
no, not even close to everything.
It's awesome just the way that he fits in with us. You know what I mean? It's like
There is that. He is down to life.
You need to invite him to co-host with you one time. I think
Yeah.
he'd do an
I'd
awesome
totally be
job
down
at
with
it.
I would definitely
I
be down
think
with
he'd
that.
be an awesome co-host, to be honest.
That's not just the chorus talking either, you know what I mean? But hey, if there's one last thing that I could add, you know, if y'all are kicking me out of here, I just want to say, hey, you know, because listening to you and how you follow your passion and how that passion drove you through, you know, you spending all day just to, you know, knock out a 30-minute show. You know, I feel the same way because, you know, I was an actor way back in the day, you know.
Wow.
I'm from New Orleans originally, and New Orleans is becoming like the new Hollywood. Like, it freaked me out because being from New Orleans, I met a person. I was like, hey, so what brings you here? You know, and they're like, oh, yeah, I moved here to be an actor. And I was like, say what? You know, because so many movies were coming through New Orleans. I used to make a good living. I would do commercials. I would do, like, industrials, which are like company-sponsored videos. I would do children's software educational videos. I had a small-ass part in the Dukes of Hazzards back in 2005.
No way!
And stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, no. My credit, if you watch the credits, I am thug number 2. You know what I mean? But it was a small part, but you know, it was good money. You know what I mean? But after Katrina hit, I went out to L.A. and you know, it's cutthroat in L.A. You know what I mean? If you're an aspiring actor, man, I don't recommend L.A. as a place to, like, you know. Hey, no, you know what? I take that back. However you want to follow your dreams, do it. You know, because my advice to you might be the wrong advice for you. It's individual for everybody.
Exactly.
But the thing that I found when I went to L.A. though, and I was looking at actors, I was like, wait a minute, because I believe in art, man. I believe in personal expression. And when I was looking at acting as an art form, it hit me that these are people who were wearing costumes, putting on makeup, and pretending. And you know, where I stood as like art is personal expression, I didn't see the art in that. And like when that hit me, I couldn't do it anymore. And when I was looking at avenues to express myself, music was the only thing that was like, this is really where you can be honest. You know what I mean? Where you can like really, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Acting became a joke to me. Music became like the only true art form. And I have arguments with people all the time. They're like, no, acting is art. I'm like, you know, acting is like, actors are more like the palette, like paint. Do you say that the paint used on the canvas is the artist or the artist himself? So, I'll debate anybody. I like the conversation about it. But yeah, so I'm just like, you know, as far as passions, follow your passions. Your passions might change, but don't let it stop you. Just do it, man. You only live once, maybe. I don't really know. But as long as we're here living, we might as well balls to the wall.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. Balls to the wall.
How crazy did that get? Because I just started rambling. I'm sorry.
No. By all means.
You made a lot of sense. You made a lot of sense.
See, that's one of the freedoms you have here on internet radio is you can say whatever the fuck you want, however long you want to fucking say it. And I am completely good with it because I go with the flow, man. And you've been a spectacular interview tonight. And one of the things I definitely want to ask you is, can we have you back to do another one?
Oh, absolutely, anytime, man. This is a blast.
Because you're a spectacular guest, and I'm sure when I sit down sober and do some research, I'll be able to come up with some 25 other questions that are more relevant to your actual artist.
Yeah, nah. I think when you sober up, you're going to be like, why the fuck did we have that guy on? You know?
Oh, no.
It happens to me all the time.
No. Trust me.
I do have one question for you.
Yes.
What inspired you to become an artist in the first place?
It was man, I don't know. It was something like when you're a little kid. It was somebody told me that. Is that my phone? Are y'all cool? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, my phone went buzzing crazy for a while. But somebody told me when I was a little kid that all art means is personal expression. And
Right.
you can express yourself through the way you walk. Everybody does it differently. The drawing, the writing. And so as long as you're expressing yourself, whether it's through painting, sculpture, poetry, singing, that's it. And for some reason that captivated me. And art became like a method of truth and exploring truth and what that meant to express your soul. It became this huge deal for me, and I just became fixated on it. So I think it's this ideal of what art is and can be as far as truthful expression and honesty. And I guess that's what propelled me to explore it,
That's awesome. I like that. That's. I mean,
That is
because
awesome.
Because personally, I love music as well. I mean, all different kinds. Because there are times when I'll be in a certain mood, and the music will just speak to me, and it's in those moments that I'm at my calmest and my most relaxed. I mean, that's just how I am with music.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome to meet somebody else who feels so deeply about music as I do.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't understand why music is such a powerful medium it is, but sometimes you don't have to understand it. Just go with it,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It is.
I did just want to, I know I've been keeping y'all almost an hour, which is insane, but I did just want to say, we just put out our latest album, Totality. It's everywhere, iTunes. You can even listen to it for free on Spotify if you have a Spotify. Spotify is free, people. And if y'all haven't found this, I think Spotify is amazing. The only thing that sucks about Spotify for me is Taylor Swift took all her catalog off of it. So I can't listen to Taylor Swift. But other than that, man, are you on Spotify?
I don't remember.
He's in shock right now.
Yeah, let me tell you the beautiful thing about Spotify that I love. Any artist that I want to hear, they have their whole discography. I can listen to the very first album that they put out to the, album that they put out last week.
Oh, really?
And it's free. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And so we're also on there. You can listen to our latest album completely for free. Check it out on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on almost anything you can imagine as far as digital. Just Lotus Effect, Totality, and you'll find us,
Excellent. Well, what we're going to
check out
do...
the music video.
That's right. Check out the
Check out the music video, Totality. All right,
But
sorry. I'm plugging.
That's all right. For our King of the Hill, we're actually going to do the first challenger, which is our interview, Lotus Effect, as our first song for tonight. And we're going to be playing the song Try Harder, which I actually tweeted out earlier in the week, and hopefully some people got to listen to it. And but if not, you're going to hear it right here, right now. Dre, I cannot thank you enough for being on with us tonight.
I just a thousand thanks, man. Much appreciation. It's a lot of fun.
You were fucking awesome.
And I will definitely be in touch with you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, guys, I got to go out into the night and support local music. So I'm heading on out right now. But big hugs. Y'all stay safe. Keep doing what you do, man. I love it.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
All right, later on. Peace.
Bye.